watching IntoWineTV, and today we're filming at Incanto restaurant in San Francisco, and we're tasting Piedmont Reds. Now this is the Dolcetto di Alba San Rocco 2008. It's produced by Giacosa Dolcetto, and it retails for $19.50 a bottle.
It's very young. It's very raw at this point. You can tell it's young just by the color.
Absolutely, very vibrant
pink,
color, yeah.
And
very
the real pink rim. And then it's a delicious wine, but it's a very, very young, raw.
Well, what surprises me about this wine, because normally the Dolcettos they are designed to be drunk a little earlier, and this one has definitely a stronger tannic structure than normally I would expect from a, which is not a bad thing. But you're right about the youth of the wine, that maybe this wine, unlike most of the Dolcettos that I've tried, would benefit from maybe 2-3 years of sitting in the bottle. Yeah. Because definitely the tannins are quite gripping, are quite firm. So. And
I suspect they're not tannins from much oak, because this wine would have been picked last year in about September, October.
Yeah, I don't
sort of kept in stainless steel.
Yeah, I'm not really detecting a very strong presence of oak. I mean, this is definitely the expression of the grape variety. I mean, very kind of a bright, raspberry, almost like a strawberry jam aromas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for a red wine to be on your table within a year of production is pretty unusual. I'm surprised by it.
Well, yeah, and I think, to be fair also, I think it's just been recently, over the last probably 3 or 4 weeks, that I've seen 2008 Reds coming to market, and I've actually seen a few of them. Actually have 1 or 2 of them on my glass list right now.
Yeah, but I would expect to see those from places like South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, places which picked back in January. So this can't have had much oak treatment, and there's the tannins probably from the stalks and the skins.
And the skins.
Well, there's a very pleasant, like Cezar mentioned, I definitely get some strawberry and raspberry, but I get a nice little, almost like a rhubarb note as well out of it.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, being, that's pretty much all I work with is Italian wine, and sometimes, most of the time, that's really good. Sometimes that's not so good, because I'm guilty of not keeping tabs on what's going on in the rest of the wine world. But what I will say about wines like this and the Italian wines that we've tasted lately is that it's very encouraging. There's some very encouraging signs about across-the-board quality, and I really had expected to run into some wines that were unpleasant or tired, or that I wasn't real happy with recently. But it's been exactly the opposite, and this is just another example. Sure, it's a young wine, and it's maybe a little bit too young. When you consider the wine, before you pull the cork, the wine's pretty much still alive in there, and it can do a lot of things over the first year or two that it's on the market. So I think probably this wine needs to be maybe laid down for a month or two in the right conditions, stretch out a little bit, and kind of get its balance. And it may show differently another month or two down the road, but I think for now, it offers a lot. And I don't, $19.50 at retail, I might, if I was at, let's say if I was at a place like the Wine Club in town here, and I went to the tasting bar and tasted it first, I'd probably think twice right now about spending $19 to $20 for it at retail. But the other side of the coin is that it's a well-made wine. It's pleasant. I don't really find any faults with it.
Yeah, I think it is well made. I think it's just its youth is what is
what's holding it back right now. Probably,
and it's 12.5% alcohol, which I love.
Wow,
so it's not high.
Are the tannins the only thing that indicate for you the youth of it, or is it just the brightness of the fruit?
I mean, the color of wine tells me
the color.
It's young. It's so pink. That pinkness is indication of. But also just it's got smells of almost sort of vinous smells still.
I mean, in the beginning, it definitely, and this is, I'm not, because I do enjoy the wine quite a bit, but in the beginning, it almost, I got flavors of carbonic maceration.
Yeah, exactly.
In a sense, which I don't think this wine went through, because I don't think it actually went through carbonic maceration, but it has the kind of almost like a Beaujolais, Gamay, a little bit flavor to it. So
could you explain what that is? what you just said?
It's the fermentation that happens within the berries. So instead of the whole clusters are put in the fermenting vat, and the fermentation happens within the berry inside, basically popping the berries open and getting a lot of CO2 into the kind of a flavor and structure of the wine. So
and I don't know if it's by law, but that's how Beaujolais is produced.
But it's by law. The basic Beaujolais, the Nouveau, yeah, not the cru Beaujolais, because the cru Beaujolais are done without, or most of them are done without carbonic maceration, but the Nouveau definitely.
Well, the wine notes actually suggest that it's meant to be tasting sort of youthful, and I personally really enjoy that. Do you find that there's a place for the youthfulness?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're not criticizing the wine at all, because it is tasting exactly as it should for a young wine. I think the quality is good. I think the weight of it is good, and the fruit's intense and clean and fresh. I think it's a really good wine. And if the winemaker wants us to drink it at this age, that's great. That's fine. It's, certainly, there are foods that are going to match well with it.
Well, I think what Bartholomew is saying is that Dolcettos normally are expected to be ready at release, because that's how Dolcettos are made. This one, I think, if the producer waited another 6 months and released it after 6 months, it would. Don't you think that maybe it would be beneficial to the wine?
Personally, I think that would benefit it. But yeah, as Lisa says, she loves it as it is, and it is a fun wine. It's a fun wine now. It's not a serious wine yet.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of chill on it, and drink
well,
it
I'm
out,
certainly having fun with it. Maybe if you guys want to give it a try, you'll have fun with it as well. It's the Dolcetto di Alba San Rocco 2008. Once again from Giacosa Fratelli. And thank you very much for joining us at IntoWineTV. We'll see you next time.